Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. And in today's video, we're going to actually go over, Nikke either confirming or letting us know that reruns are going to be happening or not happen. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is simply because obviously early this morning at 3 a.m., I had just woken up and I was reading the dev notes, but there was a part where I didn't understand what they were trying to say, right? Because it seemed like they were not, seemed like they were confirming that reruns would not happen, right? But we're actually just going to take a look again at all this to see, because there are some people saying that to them it means that reruns are happening. And then I even asked in the video, I'm like, make sure you guys definitely comment, let me know if you guys, because I didn't understand it, right? So I was like, make sure you guys let me know what you guys think, if you guys, how you guys are reading this stuff. And literally it was like, I want to say more like 60-40, if not 70-30, like 70% were saying it's confirmed no reruns, and then like 30% were saying that reruns are happening and stuff like that. They said it. So I'm actually just going to read this entire segment again now that I'm obviously awake. I'm fully awake, right? It's obviously like later on in the day. And I'm going to, understand this part better, right? For you guys as well, because I think reruns is like the most important things in this game, especially when it comes to, or in a gacha game, when it comes to limited characters, right? I feel like for most characters who are just like characters you can get anytime, they're not going to have reruns because they just get put on the next banner regardless. But then you guys gotta also remember that Alice ended up getting a banner. Now, not a rerun. Alice never had a solo banner to begin with, but she was a character who was in the game on release, and they ended up giving her a banner for Easter because she's a bunny, right? So I don't know if that's just something that they plan on doing, right? It was the only time they did it, and it was literally their reasoning for doing it made sense. It was Easter, and they decided to just drop her banner for nothing but Easter, right? So I'm assuming if, like, let's say they have something like Halloween, they might like maybe put out a banner for like Maiden, who's like looks like she's wearing a costume already, or even Crow, right, with that like Grim Reaper type, accents or whatever, right? So it's kind of hard to say, or even Yulha, right? But it's kind of hard to say because there's no, like, they've never done anything indicating that reruns are confirmed, right? I know the Alice banner is the closest thing we have to something like that, but it's not a rerun. It's just them dropping a banner. It kind of confirmed that characters who are already in the game who never had banners could get banners. That's what that confirmed, right? But there's nothing that they confirmed that reruns are getting a banner. So we're going to actually read this, right? Well, we're not going to read this part here. I mean, we can. We initially wanted to publish this developer note before July 6th and inform you about the additional unique level costume scale cutscene, right? So this is all about like the Rupee stuff, but we were unable to do so right at the time as we were caught up in development and update matters. It makes sense, right? It was a very big, like, the summer stuff seems to be quite big for them specifically, so it makes sense, right? Because of this, we got many questions from commanders, which is us, regarding the reason behind adding the cutscene, right? So I guess this is actually regarding the patch notes. If you guys read the patch notes, they actually said that they were going to resell the Rupee skin just for players because they're adding a cutscene to it, and I guess Rupee never ended up getting a cutscene, and people were asking, why is Rupee getting a cutscene now? Did you guys listen? Because obviously the biggest thing is that people were complaining that the skins were $60. Now, to me personally, especially with their new update to the costume gacha, I think it is worth $60 now with the free, like, not the free, but with the multis you get the skin and then the other good rewards. But you also got to remember, Nikke, that people probably don't even want those, right? Basically, by making it $60, you're forcing people to spend that much, even if they just want nothing but the costume. Even though you guys are putting multis and stuff, to equal up to $60, you're still technically literally forcing people to spend about $60 or up to $60 for a skin, which is just not good for business, right? So that's just how it is, right? Even though yes, the bundle is worth $60, forcing people to spend $60 for something that, for other rewards that they don't want but they would get if they're willing to spend the $60, is a bit silly, right? So yeah. So even though the update has pushed through already, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you about our intentions and the content. when we first updated the unique level Rupee Rabbit Deluxe costume, we received a lot of feedback, right? With half of which were expressions of regret about the costume not having a scale cutscene, right? Which makes sense, right? Again, if you're gonna sell something for $60, right, there's no question that these costume gacha skins are different from the regular skins, right? So if you expect them to drop like this Drake skin and Rupee skin, even if you could buy it like the skins by themselves, if you expect them to sell those same skins for $20, you're just being delusional. At that point, you're not gonna expect them with new cutscenes, also now a new guaranteed wallpaper, regardless if you own the character or not, and all that stuff, right? Remember, regular characters in this game only get wallpapers when they're LB3, which you need 4 copies for. So if I just have to own the skin, not even the character, and I get the cutscene, that's big, that's huge for a lot of players. So if you expect the skins like these to be exactly $20, like the Helm skin, even like the Poly skin, then you're delusional. I'm sorry, it is just what it is, right? I mean, no disrespect, but you guys gotta, you know, that's just how it is. There's no way, right? But to give everyone a more satisfying game experience, we made an emergency decision to provide after-sale service. So basically what this part means is it's not, they didn't like do this because they wanted to make, you know, everyone happy. They're just doing this because they added a cutscene, right? They're never going to do this again, most likely. I mean, well, we're going to find out, right? But let's keep going. So we got many inquiries and complaints asking if we're selling reruns because we only care about sale performances. So I don't know how much people were asking this question. I didn't see nobody in my comment section specifically even complaining about them doing a rerun for the Rupee skin, so I'm not sure. Obviously, my community is not the only community, but you know, I would think I would see one person, to be honest, right? Usually how it is, right? At least one person says something about this, but I don't know. This is actually news to me, right? To be very honest, that is not the case. Goddess of Victory Nikke is a platform that provides continuous live service and content. For a live service game, the quality of our experience and our preferences responses are of utmost importance, right? So that's nice, right? They are what gives us content developers ample motivation to keep providing service. In other words, the temporary explosive growth of sales as so this is okay, they're talking about how they make bank monthly, right? Explosive growth of sales as perceived by some commanders are not important to us. So basically they're saying they don't care about, not that they don't care about the money. Obviously, I'm sure every time they see like 30-40 million a month in their bank accounts or whatever, they're happy, right? But they're not, you know, basically what they're saying is they're addressing the people who are saying Nikke is gonna get money hungry if people keep spending $60 for the skins, or you know what I mean? They're basically saying that they're not gonna get money hungry no matter how much money they earn, right? So for all the people who, you know, Nikke just said that they're not money hungry, take it or leave it, they're doing their best, right? So yeah, what matters more is maintaining a great experience for all commanders in the long term. The same goes for purchase experience. A terrible purchase experience is what we and the dev team should, we and the, I don't know why she did say we and the dev team should avoid giving. Needless to say, we are deeply sorry for inconveniencing everyone with the various issues and problems in the service we provided so far. Now, I don't know if they mean in the game in general. Most likely, like every game is gonna have their issues, right? You're never gonna find a perfect game that doesn't have any issues, right? It's just, you're not, right? And especially for mobile games, you're definitely not, right? So there's just nothing they can do, right? But yeah, it seems like they definitely care, bro. They keep it dry. Like they say this like every dev note, right? It seems like they care. We have been doing our best to conduct maintenance and provide after-sale service in these areas, and we will act responsibly to enhance our experience. We've been doing our... okay. These are the reasons we decided to add a skill cutscene to the unique costume. We hope you can understand. Next, I would like to answer the question about compromising the limited costume rarity. Right, to maintain the rarity of the limited costumes, common practice is to introduce a gap between the time. Literally what I was just saying before, right? There's no way you like generally if you sit down and just like stop raging for 2 seconds and actually think about business with games, there's no way you can expect them to have the Rupee skin and the Drake skin that are currently out right now, you know, be of same value. No, even if you don't like the other rewards from the costume gacha, just like the skin itself and what the skins have to offer, you can't expect them to be of same value of regular skins that they have every day, every week, right? So it doesn't make sense that they have time periods for these costume gachas, because again, limited skins, and I guess that they just confirmed they are limited costumes, right? So they're like legendary skins type things, right? That's what they are. So of course, if you played any other game, you would know that in any other game that has quote unquote legendary skins, they're always going to sell more than their average skin, right? But basically they're saying because it's a limited skin, they're going to have a gap between the time of selling, right, and the time of reruns. So this actually does confirm that reruns will happen for these limited skins, I guess, but not characters. But we'll see. I'm clearly aware of this, which is why there has been no reruns of limited characters and costume. Also, okay, so this is the part where I got confused and I thought they were saying that, you know, they were not going to have limited characters and costumes. But this line right here, this one sentence right here confirms that reruns are going to happen, right? It's just saying there's going to be a big gap between the time they rerun a skin and a character, right? This is why it's been 8 months since they've rerun something, right? That's what they're saying. So reruns are confirmed, right? They just haven't done it yet, really, but they are confirmed. They just confirmed it within this line here. Right, and then this part is just them basically talking about them re-releasing the Rupee skin. But this is all I wanted to see. But let's continue. But if we are to conduct after-sale services as per your suggestions, we believe special maintenance is needed occasionally. So basically, they're saying this part right here is not saying that they're not going to have reruns. They're just saying that even though we as players are suggesting they have these come out constantly, they're saying no, because they're going to need to have special maintenance, you know, a lot, and that's not what they want to do. That's where I got confused from, like literally this part to here. So they will have reruns. It's not going to be like a week after week or 2 weeks after 2 weeks or like a month and a month. They're gonna have a big time gap before they do reruns, right? And they're saying even though we are suggesting that they do it like more frequently, they're not going to be doing it because it's just not good for business. Well, it's not that it's not good for business, it's just that they don't want to have these special maintenances every damn week, basically, right? And then that's where they're saying they're sorry if this disappoints you, right? They apologize if it disappoints you guys, right? And I wish for your kind understanding regarding the re-release of Rupee Rabbit Deluxe. It makes sense, right? So this is, again, they confirmed that reruns are happening, just a massive gap in between them. So that's good for the game, right? Because I was worried. One thing, as you guys know, one thing that I hate about my Nikke account is that I do not own this character because she's very, very good for PvP. Very, very good. And she's a limited. The problem is they have never reran or hinted at reruns for this type of character. So I guess with this dev note, you can expect this character to guarantee come back at least Christmas, but I'm assuming she could come back anytime. But I'm assuming Christmas is guaranteed her rerun, right? So that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good, right? Right, and then this extra stuff is just not all this extra part was not like really necessary. But yeah, so I'm glad that, you know, they confirmed reruns are happening, right? They just plan on having reruns, you know, have a massive gap. So I'm assuming, let's say they drop, for example, they drop a limited character. But actually one thing that this never confirmed, actually, or it did confirm, is that reruns are only for limited characters, right? And this goes back to the question that a lot of people are having. For example, will Modernia get a rerun? We don't know, because Alice got a banner, but she never had a banner the first time, right? But she was already in the game. Now Modernia is now already in the game, but will they rerun her banner? That's the question, right? I guess technically they can do it because now Modernia, or because Alice was in the game and they gave her a banner after she was in the game, they most likely can do it for Modernia. So I guess that technically confirms everything is going on, right? That confirms that any character who's already in the game that's not a limited could get a rerun, or could get a rate up banner after they're already in the game, because Alice got one. That's already confirmed. And then this dev note just confirmed that limited characters will get limited characters and limited skins. So I think they mean I don't know if they mean only like costume gachas, if they mean like, for example, like the Alice skin or the Emma Christmas skin, like limited, those like seasonal skins as well, right? I don't know. And the Pepper skin, probably those as well. But they confirmed that reruns for skins and characters, limited or not, will happen. The only thing I don't expect them to rerun is the collabs, right? Makima and Power, you can't really expect them to like just drop and release a collab anytime. You know, I know they technically have the access to the Makima of Nikke and the power of Nikke, but they still need the approval of the people and the IP to, you know, drop that, right? Actually, it says, what is this? What is that symbol on Makima? That's on Pride Win. I don't know. But yeah, they can't just drop collab things. So this is good. This is good for the game. Confirms reruns are possible. I mean, and they are going to happen. It's just going to take long. So you guys tell me what you think, if this is a good or bad change. I think this is a great, not change, but this is great for us to know, because this is the biggest question that everybody's had, right? When are reruns happening? If reruns are happening, and da-da-da-da. So they just answered the question we've all been, you know, wanting an answer for. So you guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous. See you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Like and subscribe right now, because I know you're still like and subscribe, boy. Like and subscribe.